Hi, thanks for joining me. Today, we're going to look at the question of whether business graduate school is worth it and whether or not it's a good fit for you. The short answer is I can give you some tools to help you make that decision, but you're going to have to make that decision yourself. Who am I? I'm blessed to be in a position where I'm working on my fourth graduate degree and second graduate degree in business management. I have one graduate degree in business management from one university, and then I'm also working on an MBA at a different university. And at present, I'm past the halfway point in the MBA program. Also, I'm an entrepreneur. The short answer, and hopefully you're watching a lot of different videos about this when making a decision about whether you want to go to business graduate school or not. I cannot advise you on which university to go to. You will have to make that decision yourself, but I can give you some tools to consider in that based on my personal experiences. I think one of the biggest factors of whether a business graduate school is a good fit for someone depends on, and this is my opinion, who that person wants to be. I think sometimes people will say this person is hardworking, or this person is lazy, or this person is average in their commitment to how hard they work. And instead, I look at it as who does this person want to be, rather than looking at it as a person not being malleable. I believe that people are malleable. And if you're watching this video right now and you're thinking, I wish this dude would just get on with it, this video and graduate school might not be for you, because graduate school is a long, hard slog. And it's nothing at all like undergraduate school. In undergrad, they help you along. They want you to succeed. They want you to graduate, this, that, and another. And in graduate school, your professors will help you. That's been my experience. But they're not going to hold anybody's hand. They will watch you drown if they don't see you working hard. So, just a heads up there. I believe that people are malleable, and it's more a question of, in you're making your graduate school decision, I think it's more a question of who do you want to be? And how hard do you work, not compared to the laziest people that you know, not how hard do you work compared to average people, but how hard do you work or want to work compared to some of the hardest working people in the world. And when I say in the world, I mean from every country in the world. There is a world of difference between who you'll find in undergrad versus graduate school, and there's another world of difference between the top 1% in graduate school and the average performers in graduate school. And then there's another big difference between the worst performing students at some of the top graduate schools in the world and the best performing students at some of the easiest graduate schools in the world. And I'm not going to diagram that out for you. Rewind the video if you need to. If you're making a business graduate school decision, everything that I'm talking about in this video is extremely simple. And I'm not particularly concerned about stepping on anybody's toes. In terms, I use the analogy of an undergraduate degree is like a shovel, and business graduate school is like a mattock. M-A-T-T-O-C-K. And if you're looking that up right now because you don't know what that is, and you're looking at images of it to figure out what it is, you might be a graduate school type personality. And if you're thinking, I don't know what that is, why doesn't this guy show me a picture of it? Maybe business graduate school is not for you. I think the difference between those two is if you're working and moderately, if you're going to dig, okay, now I don't know of any shovel that will dig a hole for you. A mattock neither. I think when a degree, whether it's an undergraduate degree or a graduate degree, it's like a shovel or a mattock. If a person doesn't want to dig, a shovel is completely useless to that person because they weren't digging to begin with and they had no desire to dig. And what is digging? Digging is work. Digging is accomplishing of goals and objectives. If a person doesn't want to work, a college degree is completely useless to them, and they should just not go. Because not only would they be wasting their money, they're wasting government funds if they're borrowing money, and even worse, they're wasting the time and energy of the students around them who are forced to work with those social loafers in group projects. They're bad for the program, they're bad for the university, they're bad for that professor, they're bad for the school, they're bad for the college within that university. It's just bad all around. On the other side of the coin, if a person wants to work hard, they want to dig, they want to get things done, they want to help people, they want to make a difference in the world, they want to make a difference in their own life, they want to make a difference in the lives of others. If you don't have a shovel, it's going to be a challenge. If you are a genius, you don't need college. You're a genius. You don't need it. You're ahead of all of your professors. I'm not a genius. I need college. I say that because people like to make examples of people who have succeeded without college. Those people are geniuses or fall into the genius category, and that's why I say, if you're a genius, you don't need business graduate school. Period. You don't need it. But I'm not a genius, so I need it. At present, I'm 42 years old. I worked for 10 years without a college degree. A little bit more than that, but until I was around age 30. And I missed out on opportunities because of not having a college degree. And I think when you take business graduate school and combine it with some of the skills that I learned in undergraduate school. You have a shovel and a mattock, and the shovel can help you dig through some of the less challenging situations, but it's still work. And when you hit granite or hard clay or something else extremely hard, when you're going through challenging situations, if you don't have a mattock, which would be like business graduate school, then you're going to have to work harder, put more effort in, and get less digging done. And again, I hope you're watching lots of different videos when you're making a decision about business graduate school, and you may have infinitely more wisdom and knowledge and work experience than I have. Maybe you don't need this video, but I think that if a person, and we keep coming back to this theme in this video of who do you want to be? Do you want to be one of the hardest working people in the world going forward? If so, maybe business graduate school is a good fit for you. If a person is thinking that going to business graduate school will allow them to not work as hard and to make more money while not working as hard, even if a person does somehow, unless it's through family, sneak into a demanding position that pays well, and then that person is not the hardworking person that they pretended to be during the interview process, that person will likely be found out and dismissed from employment when they don't meet the performance expectations that the employer has based on that person's salary. Alternatively, if a person wants to do the best job that they possibly can for the organization, the best job that they possibly can for creating a good environment for the people that help them do accomplish the mission of the organization, business graduate school can be great. People can survive without it, and they do it all the time. People survive without it, and they sometimes thrive without it. But also keep in mind that as some individuals, and I know there's some people out there that are very successful that work in fields where they don't want the people from the best schools, the most challenging schools, but they work in different fields that an MBA may not be the best fit, like engineering, where a lot of that just comes from straight experience. But there are exceptions to every rule. One of the good things about having a graduate degree in business management is when you have it, as far as I know, you have it for life. So if you're older and you get physically injured, or you have a constant health issue that interferes with your ability to do hard labor, or even something close to hard labor, where you have to walk constantly, a graduate degree can be really helpful in that, because your job is to be on the computer or on the phone or in meetings. And if a person, for example, breaks their ankle and they have a leg cast or something like that, it'll be difficult for them to get to their desk and to and from the bathroom and the lunch and whatever. But there are other jobs where if you break your ankle, you're not going to work the next day, period. And I happen to have one of those jobs doing on my own, my entrepreneurial stuff. I'm in the early phases of starting an excavation business. And until I have employees, I can't work if I break my ankle. But that's something to think about when we're younger and maybe thinking about business graduate school. We may have jobs that require physical effort, physical labor of some sort, even if it's just carrying files. And that could potentially not always be the case for you, that you're able to do that much physical labor to go to whatever marketing events and set up a table and carry the table from the van to there and then stand up all day. That could become an issue. And also, as far as business graduate school, if you're able to get it done earlier in life before you're married and have kids and all that, that can be helpful. It could be a challenge later. You could still do it, but it'll be a challenge because now you have a lot of other responsibilities. If you're married, serious dating relationship, children, etc. So you're going to find people out there that will say that they went to whatever, college, business graduate school, what have you, and it hasn't paid off, and they're tired of paying the loans back, etc., etc. And it comes back to the analogy of an undergrad degree and a graduate degree in business management. And full disclosure, my undergraduate degree is in psychology. That applies to business management a lot when you look at organizational behavior and organizational change and managing people to create a good work environment for them. But my undergraduate degree is not in business management, so I can't speak to what undergrads experience in undergrad. But you will find people who will complain about stuff nonstop. I mean, the same person who might complain that their graduate degree hasn't impacted their ability to earn or their ability to do their job. And that's another thing. If your only goal for going to business management school, a graduate degree, is to earn more, even if you do earn more, you may not be very happy. Because, again, it comes back to a graduate degree in business management is just a tool. It's just a tool to help you do your job. I love business. I eat it up. I really love it. And when I can gain tools that help me do my job, understanding how to use spreadsheets and understanding some things about tax and all the stuff that you learn in business management school, how to create a better work environment for people, encourage people, recruit the right people, retain the right people, discern who the right people for your organization are, create a good, healthy organizational culture and maintain that organizational culture. Extremely valuable information for me, but everybody's mission is different. And hopefully you're watching lots of videos, doing lots of research before making a decision about business graduate school. And I will say there are conversations that your employer may want to have with you, or you may want to have with your employer, that if you don't go to business graduate school, it's going to be frustrating for them, because there are concepts that you learn in business graduate school that may come up and some would say are guaranteed to come up in different work environments, whereby if a person, you may be having a conversation with an employer or an employee where 3 or 4 of these concepts come up in the conversation, and if both parties have been to business graduate school, they just fly through them, they mention them, they mention whatever that concept is. And if both parties know what that concept is and understand it, because they took 4 months of coursework in that, they can mention the concept and move on in the conversation. If a person hasn't been to business graduate school and they're not familiar with each one of those concepts, 2 possible outcomes could come from that. 1, they don't understand the concept and they don't say anything in the conversation. They pretend to understand the concept. Maybe they could figure it out later, but time is of the essence, that they can't just drop everything that they're doing that day and go look up what these concepts are. Or they'll say that they don't understand what the concept is, and then their supervisor or whoever they're having a conversation with is going to have to explain to them what the concept is. And if that keeps happening again and again and again, then the employer may think, I've just got to hire an MBA, because there's too much training, on the clock training, that the person is having to receive because they haven't been to a business graduate school program. And that's not to say that people learn everything that they need to know in business graduate school. It's hopefully you're a lifetime learner. I certainly am, but it causes problems if a person hasn't been to business graduate school and they don't understand and are not familiar with a lot of the concepts. But again, I think that everyone's mileage may vary with this information. And I can tell you as an entrepreneur that the things that I learned in business graduate school helped me a lot. And qualitative analysis and quantitative analysis in business in decision making, and making different decisions about interest rates and what things should I try to pay cash for, what things should I try to finance, how long should I finance them, how much difference does it make if I make above the minimum payment, and being able to calculate how much money I save with that, being able to calculate or make estimates on opportunity cost, which is a concept that you'll cover in business graduate school, opportunity cost, and at least do my best to estimate what my opportunity costs are, not just quantitatively, but also qualitatively in quality of life. But again, you're going to have to make your own decision about this. And of all the mistakes that a person could make in life, I think that if business graduate school was a mistake for somebody, it's hard for me to imagine that being a big mistake, because it is applicable across so many disciplines and so many industries that unless you're going to stop working, if you're going to stop working, business graduate school, probably not for you. If for some reason you're going to inherit a lot of money and stop working, or you're planning on winning the lottery and you're going to stop working, but even if a person stopped working, they still need to manage their finances. So maybe it's still useful anyway. But anyway, I'll end on that note. I can't answer that question for you, whether business graduate school is good for you or not. But these are some tools that can hopefully help you make that decision, and you'll have to make that decision, and there's uncertainty involved in that decision, and there are no guarantees. There's no guarantees that you'll graduate from business graduate school. I know that not everybody does, because I've seen it happen. And I was about that close to not graduating from the first program because of quantitative courses. Killers for me. But God blessed me, and I made it. I graduated. So I hope this helps you. And if you think this video could help others, or if it's been helpful to you, feel free to hit the thumbs up button. If you like different types of videos and some of the content that I provide, feel free to subscribe. If you're a lifetime learner, you might like my content. All right. Love you guys. Hope you're doing well. I wish you the best, sincerely, in your professional objectives, in your career goals, in your personal goals, in your quality of life goals, in your whatever your financial goals are. I sincerely wish you the best. It's a challenge. It's a challenge for everybody. And I sincerely wish you the best, and good for you for doing research on going to business graduate school, because you're going to be doing a whole lot more research in business graduate school, and it's very fast paced. But love you guys, and hang in there and do the best. Whatever your hand finds to do, just do the absolute best that you can. I can leave you with that. Just give 100% all the time. All right. God bless. I'll talk to you later.